Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Gibaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Gibaradari Jaisacinandana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Gaura Hare Gaura Hare Gaura Hare Jaya Gaura Hare Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Gaura Haribo Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Radhanath Ki Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari Shri Pancha Tattva Ki Shri Nishingane Bhagavan Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Krishna Book Ki Shri Prabhupada's Transcendental Purports Ki Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to all glories, all glories. Guru and Gauranga. Feet of Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So first of all, let me welcome you all to this Sunday morning program, and thank you for attending. So normally we read the Krishna book on Sundays. So we're continuing from chapter 85. The chapter is called Spiritual Instruction for Vasudeva and the Return of the 6 Dead Sons of Devaki by Lord Krishna. So, as the story goes, they all in Kurukshetra, Krishna, Balaram, and Mother Yasoda, Nanda Maharaj, Devaki, Vasudeva, and Krishna's queens. So all of them are there in the meeting after a long time. So it's quite a reunion, like when you meet the old friends or old family after a long time. There's emotions, isn't right? You exchange emotions, you'll rekindle lost memories of things. So likewise, very similar. But all this is in a very transcendental way. So this chapter is going. It is a Vedic custom that the junior members of the family should offer respects to the elders every morning. I don't know if you do that. In the olden days, the moment we get up, we will go to our parents' rooms and touch their feet, isn't it? And get the blessings. Or we see the guru, or the spiritual master, or the sannyasi, we offer obeisances. So very similar. Exchanges are here. It is a very custom that the junior members of the family, the younger ones, should offer respects to the elderly every morning. The children or disciples especially should offer their respects to the parents or spiritual master in the morning in pursuance of this Vedic principle. Lord Krishna and Balaram used to offer their obeisances to their parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. One day, after having returned from the sacrificial performance at Kurukshetra, when Lord Krishna and Balaram went to offer their respects to Vasudeva, Vasudeva took the opportunity to appreciate the exalted position of his two sons. So Vasudeva married Devaki, and he also was married to Rohini, Balaram's mother. So we had Balaram was from the womb of Rohini, and Krishna was from Devaki. So, but they were brothers. Vasudeva is the father of both of them. So Vasudeva had the opportunity to understand the position of Krishna and Balaram from the great sages who were assembled in the arena of the sacrifice. Not only that he heard from the sages, but on many occasions he actually experienced that Krishna and Balaram were not ordinary human beings, but were very extraordinary. Although they were his sons, he heard from the sages, from the sadhus, that these were very powerful personalities. Krishna and Balaram, you'll see pictures there. Krishna and Balaram there together. They were actually Bhagavan, God. So thus he believed the words of the sages that his sons Krishna and Balaram were the supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna and Balaram, they are non-different. He says the only difference is the color. What color is Krishna? Blackish, bluish. And Balaram, you see that's the only difference. And of course Balaram is elder. He appeared before Krishna. But they're identical, they're non-different. With firm faith in his sons, he addressed them thus: My dear Krishna, you are the Satchidananda Vigraha, Supreme Person of Godhead. Satchidananda, it's an expression of spirituality. Sat, Chit, Ananda, eternal. Sat means eternal, Chit, full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. They have spiritual body, not like us. Our body is made of material elements, isn't this body? But the soul is different. The soul is spiritual. The soul is also Satchidananda, because it's coming from that spiritual source of Krishna, who is the original personality of Godhead. With firm faith in his sons, he addressed them thus: My dear Krishna, you are the Satchidananda Vigraha, Supreme Godhead. And my dear Balaram, you are the Sankashan, the master of all mystic powers. Therefore, I have now understood that you are eternal. Both of you are transcendental to this material manifestation and to its cause, the Supreme Person, Mahavishnu. You are the original control of all. You are the resting place of this cosmic manifestation. You are its creator, and you are also its creative ingredients. You are the master of the cosmic manifestation. Actually, this manifestation is created for your pastimes only. So Vasudeva is glorifying these personalities because that is knowledge. This is transcendental knowledge. When we understand the position, our position in terms of the creation, who created, how it's created, why it's created. This is knowledge. Other than that, we are in ignorance. If we don't know these things, we are in. If you don't know who you are, then how will you know who is God? How will you know? If you don't know who you are in the So this is the first fundamental understanding of spiritual life, that we are different from this body. Right in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching Arjuna that you are spirit, your spirit soul, and the soul is eternal. The body is temporary. This body lives up to a certain time, isn't? Whether it lives 50, 60, 70, 80, and it will deteriorate. We can say that, isn't? From young, we're growing to youth, then old age, and then there's death. We all have to go through that. It's a fact of life because of this material body. Prabhupada said, material body means we have a bad bargain. What is a bad bargain? We have to go through birth, death, disease, old age. And no one can escape that. Nobody who's taken birth in the material world can escape these four things. Birth, death, disease, and old age. We all have to go through that at some point. We cannot stay young forever. No. We don't have that body. Only Krishna has that body. Krishna is Nava Yovanam. He's ever youthful. We don't see Krishna with big beard like a whole man. You seen any pictures here? Krishna like a whole man? No. Even when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he was very old. But he doesn't have a whole body. Materially, he was like something like 75, 80, and some accounts say 120 years old when he spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. But you see pictures of him, he looks very youthful. He always has the body of a 16-year-old. But can we say that? When we're 70, 80, that we can have a body of a 16-year-old? No, but we can, the soul doesn't get old. So we always, eternally we are young. Eternally we are young. But when we identify with this body, then that's a different matter. So spiritual life teaches us the difference between the body and what is eternal, and how to connect with the eternal, how to connect with the Supreme. So Vasudeva is quite knowledgeable. He knows these things. So he's describing the different material phases that are manifest from the beginning to the end of the cosmos under different formulas of time, are also yourself, because you are both the cause and effect of this manifestation. Krishna is known as, he's Kala Shakti. He is time. He says, time I am, the destroyer of this world. He's showing Arjuna that in his manifestation as the Virat Roop, or the that gigantic form of Vishwarup, where he showed that form to Arjuna. That is time, the time factor, Kala Shakti. The two features of the material world, the predominator and the predominated, are also you. And you are the supreme transcendental controller who stands above them. There's also, Krishna is described as Purusha. He is the original enjoyer. And we are Prakriti. We are all, whether we're male or female, in Krishna's eyes we are to be enjoyed. We are Prakriti. Krishna is the original Purusha, the supreme enjoyer. So this is knowledge, we understand. And then when we get this, then we surrender to Krishna, knowing that He is the only enjoyer. In the material world, when we become forgetful of that, we think we are enjoying. But that's the illusion. We are not enjoying. Actually, we are suffering. We are suffering because the material world is not our real home. It's not our real place. Our real place is up there in the spiritual world. We're just in transition. We come here like a prison. Like a prisoner goes to prison, or a convict or a criminal goes to prison to be rehabilitated and make himself right, and then go and get get out of prison or get liberated from prison or the material world. So in conditioned life, we are like in prison. We are prison. This material world, actually, we see it like that. It is a prison house. Or sometimes they say Durga Dham. Durga Dham. And Durga is also sending her these threefold Krishas, Adi Bautik, Adi Devik, Adi Hatmik. She's carrying a spear or a trisul. You know what's the trisul? That three-pointed. You see they have this picture. She's carrying this trisul. It represents three symbolism, three things. Adi Hatmik, Adi Bautik, Adi Devik. Adi Hatmika means miseries caused by our own self. This body gives us problems. We have mental problems. We have dysfunctional in so many ways. We have diseases. We cannot escape these things. Death will be there. Birth is there. So Adhyatmik, Adibautik means we have other that gives us problems. Other living entities. We have enemies who don't like us. We are afraid of certain things. We have phobias for certain things. Some people have phobia for height, high buildings, or flying in planes. Or some people are scared even of a rat, or a cat, or a cockroach, or snake. Isn't? The moment you hear about a snake, you go into a snake, that fear, isn't? So Adibautik. Then there's Adi Devik. Adi Devik means miseries caused by the demigods. Like we get yesterday or a few days ago, we had so much rain, isn't it? And so much damage. And then there's earthquakes. Then there's famine, there's drought. So these all miseries caused by the demigods, devas, because they are controlling. So these threefold miseries we cannot escape in the material world. And the only means is, Krishna saying, to surrender to Him. Only means to get out of that is to surrender to Krishna. Samatma Sudu Labaha. So such a great soul, after many, many births, he comes to me. So likewise, we've been through so many births. Now we have opportunity to come to Krishna consciousness. We're hearing Katha, we're coming in this beautiful temple, we're seeing the deities after so many lifetimes. In different bodies, different lifetimes. So he says, Baunam Janmanam Ante. So after many, many births, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Samatma, such a soul, it's very rare. Like we see, how many people are here today? It's very rare. And Chatsworth, what's the population of Chatsworth? Yes? Many hundred thousands, isn't? Or maybe a million. But how many people? So it's very rare that people will come to hear Katha, this Katha of this magnitude. Bhagavad Katha about Krishna. How many? It's very rare. Very, very rare. Because people are into sense. Some people may be still sleeping late nights, isn't? Going out late nights. They may be still sleeping. But you are here. So this is sacrifice. This is sacrifice. And this Krishna will reward us for all that. We get rewarded for all these things. And being in Sangha, association of devotees, taking prasadam. These are all devotional activities. And it's going into our bank balance. Our spiritual, like you have a material bank balance, you have money in the bank. So you also have a spiritual bank balance. Whatever we do in spiritual life, even just coming here and just hearing, or even moving the chairs, cleaning the temple, these are all, or taking prasadam with devotees. or chanting Hare Krishna. These are all devotional. They add up every day. They add up to him. And Krishna doesn't forget. Even at the time of death, he will remember. He will remember all your good. So these what we should cultivate, this type of knowledge, this type of association that will benefit us the most. Accepting what's favorable for our, and we become serious. We must become serious devotees. Like Vasudeva is very serious and he's giving very serious. He's describing the Supreme Lord. That you are the vital force, the life principle in everything, and the creative force derived from it are not acting independently, but are dependent upon you, the Supreme Person, behind these forces. Without your will, they cannot work. Material energy has no cognizance. It cannot act independently without being agitated by you. Because the material nature is dependent upon you, the living entities can only attempt to act, but without your sanction and will, they cannot perform anything or achieve the results they desire. So we see the Lord is in the heart. One aspect of God is in your heart. He's Paramatma. He's the super soul. And He's witnessing all our activities. He's fulfilling all our desires. And we cannot think we can do something and escape it. No. Or behind closed doors. No, the super soul is, wherever you're going, He's accompanying you. He's accompanying you everywhere. And He's seated in your heart. He's there. Yeah. Jai Sri Sri Radharanath ki, Sri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari ki Jai. Haribol. The original energy is only an emanation from you, my dear Lord. The shining of the moon, the heat of fire, the rays of the sun, the glittering of the stars, and the electric lightning, which are all manifested as very powerful, as well as the gravity of the mountains and the energy and fragrance of the earth, all are different manifestations of you. We take all this for granted, isn't it? We see the sun, we see the stars, and Krishna later is saying, the taste in water. We don't realize that that energy is all Krishna's. He's all pervading, how He's all pervading in all these things. The pure taste of water, the water itself, and the vital force which maintains all life, also features of your lordships. Rasam apsu kauntaya. Krishna is telling Arjuna, I am the taste in water. And water, without water, can you survive? You can survive with electricity, but can you survive without water? No. The air that we breathe, the light of the sun, the sunshine, the moonshine, the stars, all these things are vital ingredients that we are dependent on. And that we have to acknowledge is the manifestation of Krishna's different energies. The Supreme Lord is all His energies. My dear Lord, although the forces of the senses, the mental power of thinking, willing and feeling, and the strength, movement and growth of the body appear to be performed by different movements of hearts within the body, they are airs within the body. They are all ultimately manifestations of your energy. The vast expanse of outer space rests in you. The vibration of the sky, its thunder, the supreme sound, Omkar, and the arrangement of different words to distinguish the thing from one thing from another, all symbolic representations of you. The senses, the controllers of the senses, the demigods, and the acquisition of knowledge, which is the purpose of the senses, as well as the subject matter of knowledge, all are you. The resolution of intelligence and sharp memory of the living entity are also you. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, a very famous verse, Sarvasya Chaham Ridi Sani Vishto. I am seated in everyone's heart, he's saying like that. And from me comes Mata Smiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. From me comes remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. Comes from Krishna. Yeah. The resolution of intelligence and sharp memory of the living are also you. You are the mystic, egoistic principle of ignorance and is the cause of the material world. The egoistic principle of passion, which is the cause of the senses, and the egoistic principle of goodness, which is the origin of different controlling deities of this material world. The illusory energy of Maya, which is the cause of the conditioned soul's perpetual transmigration from one form to another, is you. My dear Supreme Personal Godhead, you are the original cause of all causes. Exactly as the earth is the original cause of different kinds of trees, plants, and similar varieties of manifestation. As the earth is present in everything, so you are present throughout the material manifestation as the Super Soul. You are the supreme cause of all causes, the eternal principle. Everything, in fact, is a manifestation of your one energy. The three qualities of material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and the results of the interaction are linked up with you by your agency of Yogamaya. They are supposed to be independent, but actually the total material energy rests upon you, the Super Soul. Since you are the supreme cause of everything, the interactions of the material manifestations, birth, growth, existence, transformation, deterioration, and annihilation are also absent from you. So it's an interesting point that Krishna's body is not like ours. It doesn't go through that. Krishna doesn't take birth. Seemingly he takes birth for the sake of Leela, but actually he is original and he is independent. Although he has father and mother, but they come as devotees to serve him. But Krishna is the original personality. Is Abhigyana Swarat. He is independent. He is not dependent of anything. Like we are born of parents. Isn't we have parents? So this is the difference, to understand that Krishna is something Aja, unborn. Like the soul is also unborn. Aja. Because the soul is not born. Soul has been there since creation, since it's been in existence, since time immemorial. It's only the body that takes birth. So anything that takes birth must have death. One who takes birth is sure to die. Krishna is saying like that. And one who dies is sure to take birth. But for the soul, there's no birth and death. And that we have to understand. That is knowledge. To understand that we are eternal. When we connect with the soul, the Atma, the Jiva, or so many names, the Jiva Atma, or the living entity, sometimes they use that term, or the living being, refers to the soul, not the body. The body goes through this birth. There's growth, the body grows, isn't? It maintains, there's existence, it lives. There's transformation. It transforms from boyhood to youth to old age. There's transformation. We don't stay the same. Isn't? Deterioration. Your hair starts falling out. Your eyesight goes, isn't? Your hearing goes. You battle to walk. So all these things are part of the material body. That is, Prabhupada Prabhupada says we have a bad bargain. But how to make the use of a bad bargain is to give this life, this one life to Krishna. Surrender to Krishna. Serve Krishna. The Supreme Energy, Yogamaya, is acting in variegated manifestation, but because Yogamaya is your energy, you are therefore present in everything. In the Bhagavad Gita, this fact is very nicely explained in the 9th chapter. wherein the Lord says, in my impersonal form, I am spread all over the material energy. Everything is resting in me, but I am not there. This very statement is also given by Vasudeva. To say that the Lord is not present everywhere means that he is aloof from everything. And although his energy is acting everywhere, this can be understood by a crude example. So to give an analogy to understand that. How to understand that a big director of a company is the big boss. The big boss is not in every department, is he? Can he be in every department one time? No. But he has his directors and co-directors and secretaries, and they all are part of his energy. And what is the big boss doing? He's playing golf or something, isn't? He's enjoying. But the factory goes on. Doesn't mean the boss is not there, that everything comes to a standstill. No. So likewise, in a bigger scale, we see the creation is going on by the arrangement of the Lord. And what is Krishna doing? It's very hard to understand. Krishna is playing barefoot, running around in Vrindavan, playing like a child. His friends, we see all these pictures. So this is God. Sometimes we have this thing that God is holding this whole like a burden for him to hold. No. God has different incarnations that do the work. God manifests his different avatars. They come, they perform. Vishnu, Mahavishnu, the Vishnu expansions, they are part of the creation. So this is how to understand God. Who is God? What is the Godhead? When you say God is great, how great? So we get that knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, and hear from the right sources about God. Who is God? Who is Bhagavan? Vasudeva said, the material world is like a great flowing river, and its waves are the three material modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. This material body, as well as the senses, the faculties of thinking, feeling, and willing, and the stages of distress, happiness, attachment, and lust, all are different products of these three qualities of nature. The foolish person who cannot realize your transcendental identity, above all these material reactions, continues in this entanglement of fruitive activity and is subjected to the continuous process of birth and death without a chance of being freed. So if you understand this human form of life, what is this human form of life? Is something different from animals. They also have life, right? There's different species of life, or there are millions of species of life. But of all this, the human species is most developed consciousness is there. And that consciousness is meant to make inquiry. If we don't make inquiries, then we are living in ignorance. If we come in this world and don't inquire what is our goal in life, who we are, what's our relationship, then it's a wasted life. We have to take birth, lifetime, till we come to that understanding, till we get that knowledge. Other than that, we're wasting this human form of life. And the danger that we may take birth in lower species of life, go back into, regress into lower species, and that is very painful. Especially if you had a human form and you wasted it. So this is the, understand this human form of life is to make inquiries about the absolute truth, about God, the nature, and what is our relationship, how to connect with God in that way. This is confirmed in different ways by the Lord in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There it is said that anyone who knows the appearance and activities of the Supreme Lord Krishna is freed from the clutches of material nature and goes back home, back to Godhead. What is that verse, Ranga? Janma karma chame divyam One who knows the nature of my janma, my birth, and my activities, karma, does not take birth again in this material world. So this is the Lord's guarantee that we get that knowledge of Him. We know God, then we know everything. We don't have to separately endeavor for other types of knowledge. No, that is the greatest asset, is to have this transcendental knowledge. Then it frees us. It liberates us from material entanglement. Material entanglement means we too much engrossed in material knowledge, and that's taking you nowhere. It only can improve your material standards, but how long? Till you die, what's going to happen? All your knowledge, material knowledge, all goes back to nothing. Whether you're a professor or a PhD, but if you don't make inquiries, use that knowledge to inquire about God, then it's wasted. You have to take birth, come back again as a baby, isn't? From a big-time professor to a baby who doesn't crying all the time, he wets his nappy and wants attention. So we're on that type. So this knowledge helps us to not take birth again. In this, shall not, yeah, Krishna is saying, Janma karma chame evam yovati tatvataha. One who understands the eternal nature of my appearance and my activities shall not take birth again. So here's the classic. Vasudeva is giving us that knowledge here. My dear Lord, Vasudeva continued, despite all these defects of the conditioned soul, if someone somehow or other comes in contact with devotional service, he achieves the civilized human form of body with developed consciousness and thereby becomes capable of executing further progress in devotional service. And yet, illusioned by the external energy, people generally do not utilize this advantage of the human form of life. And they miss the chance of eternal freedom and unnecessarily spoil the progress they have made after thousands of births. So if you understand how we came to human form, we have to go through all the species of life, from the lowest forms of life, coming to the highest form. It takes millions of births, actually 8 million births, going through all the species, dog species, cat species, bird species, insect species, plant life, insect life, demigods. You were demigods also. And human form of life. That is the culmination of coming through all that. And then after all that, then you waste it. Then you don't deserve another body. You don't deserve another human body, Krishna. And the laws of nature will determine that. We come under the laws of nature. We surrender to the laws of nature, which is very harsh and very exacting. Laws of nature mean we come under the jurisdiction of karma. Whereas in Krishna consciousness we become karma free. You know this? We become free from karma. We're freeing our karma. We become nishkam or akarma. And it's what Krishna wants us to be, akarma. If karma binds us, whether it's good karma or bad karma, we are bound in this material creation, whether it's in the higher planets or in the lower planets, hellish planets, it's still within the material realm. We have to get out of that. Intelligence means we have to stop this birth and death. Although we may live longer, but what's of a long life when you're not using it? What is the use? You want long life, but for what? To sense enjoy, for sense enjoyment? No. If you have a long life service attitude, then that's good. We can desire like that. We can serve as much as we want. But if you want long life just to enjoy this material world, because every day you see the sun rise, you see the sunset. That means one day closer to your demise. Yeah. One day closer. Every day you see the sunrise and you see the sunset means one day closer to your own death. We have to see like that. Not, oh, my birthday is coming. No. That's illusion. Birthdays. Although we get excited about birthdays. But that day we should be excited about how we will leave this body. That is our greatest test in life. How we will leave this body. And that is described in Bhagavad Gita, in the 8th chapter, Bhagavad Krishna. Very nice describes. Remembering him. Smaranam. We have to remember Krishna. But how will we remember Krishna? If we're not practicing every day, chanting Hare Krishna and being with devotees, how will we remember at the time of death? Very difficult. So this helps us to remember Krishna all the time. Even if we forget, because death can be a very challenging time. Even close to death, we may lose memory, we may be in a subconscious state. How will you remember Krishna? But Krishna will remember. You remember all you did for him, and he will somehow inspire devotees through the heart to come and remind you of Krishna, come and chant for you, and show, sing pictures of Krishna. We will rekindle that lost memory, and then you'll transition very successfully out of this material world. That is the how to get out. So one who knows the transcendental nature of my birth and activities, understanding that, we will not take birth again. After hearing Krishna speak the entire philosophy of spiritual life in an abbreviated summation, Vasudeva was exceedingly pleased with his son. Being thus elated, he could not speak but remained silent. In the meantime, Devaki, the mother of Lord Krishna, sat by the side of her husband. Previously, she had heard that Krishna and Balaram were so kind to the teacher that they had brought back the teacher's dead son from the clutches of the superintendent of death, Jamaraj. Since she had heard of the incident, she had also been thinking of her own sons who were killed by Kamsa. And while remembering them, she was overwhelmed with grief. I'm sure you're all familiar with that Krishna, the appearance of Lord Krishna. Before Krishna appeared, he had 6 other sons were killed by Kamsa in the prison house in Mathura. So Devaki was feeling very grieved. She's still thinking of them, and she remembers how Krishna and Balaram, they brought, as Guru Dakshin, they went and brought the son of the Guru, Sandipani Muni. They brought him back from the jaws of death, from Yamaraj. So she wanted the same thing. If Krishna could do that, bring her 6 sons back. Interesting. Out of compassion for her dead sons, Devaki appealed to Lord Krishna and Balaram thus: My dear Balaram, your very name suggests that you give all pleasure and all strength to everyone. Your unlimited potency is beyond the reach of your minds and words. And my dear Krishna, you are the master of all mystic yogis. I know that you are the mother of the Prajapatis, or the master of the Prajapatis, like Brahma and his assistants. And you are the original person of Godhead, Narayan. Also know for certain that you have descended to annihilate all kinds of miscreants who have been misled in the course of time. They have lost control of the minds and senses, have fallen from the quality of goodness, and have deliberately neglected the direction of the revealed scriptures by living a life of extravagance and impudence. We think of the Ravanas and the Kamsas. They all were very envious of the Supreme Lord. because they wanted to be God. And in the end, the Lord comes himself to teach them a lesson, like Ram killed Ravan. Ravan was a demon. So this is why God comes to the material world, to this world, to fulfill the desires of his devotees. Parichanaya sadhunam, vinasayata duskritam. I come for my devotees, to protect my devotees, and same time to annihilate vinasayata duskritam, to annihilate the miscreants. So when Lord, whenever he comes in different yugas, in different incarnations, the modus operandi, the mission is the same, to uphold Dharma and to give pleasure to his devotees. Like we see how the devotees in separation, they want to see the Lord. We celebrate all these festivals, Janmashtami, Ram Navami, appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All these different festivals are there to rekindle that relationship we have with the Lord. After hearing the mother speak in this way, Lord Balaram and Krishna immediately called for the assistance of Jogamaya and started for the lower planetary system known as Sutala. Formerly all in his incarnation as Vaman, the Supreme Plan of Godhead had been satisfied by the king of the demons, Bali Maharaj. You may have known the story when Krishna appeared as a dwarf Brahmana, isn't? To cheat this king and take all the land from him. Vamana Dev. Krishna appeared in the form of Vamana Dev, dwarf Brahman, very beautiful boy. And he cheated this Bali Maharaj, who was a demon, who took all the land away from the demigods, the planets. So he came back to reclaim that. And he cheated him. But Bali, in the end, surrendered. He offered his head to Krishna, to Vamana. And this way, the Lord gave him his own planet, Sutala Loka. So Bali Maharaj, so they are going to that planet. And we see now when the great devotee Bali Maharaj saw the Lord, Balaram and Krishna had come to his planet, he immediately merged in an ocean of happiness. As soon as he saw Lord Krishna and Balaram in his presence, he and his family members stood up from the seats and bowed down at the lotus feet of the Lords. Bali Maharaj offered Lord Krishna and Balaram the best seat he had in his possession. And when both Lords were seated comfortably, he began to wash the lotus feet, and then sprinkle the water on his head and on the heads of his family members. The water used to wash the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram can purify even the greatest demigods, such as Lord Brahma. After this, Bali Maharaj brought valuable garments, ornaments, sandalwood pulp, betel nuts, lamps, and various nectarian foods. And along with his family members, he worshipped the Lords according to the regular principles and offered his riches and body unto the lotus feet. King Bali was feeling such transcendent pleasure that he repeatedly grasped the Lord's lotus feet and kept them on his chest, and sometimes he put them on top of his head. In this way he felt transcendental bliss. Tears of love and affection began to flow from his eyes, and all his bodily hairs stood on end. He began to offer prayers to the Lord in a voice which choked up intermittently. My Lord Balaram, you are the original Anantadev. You are so great that Anantadev Shesh, and other transcendental forms have originally emanated from you. And you, Lord Krishna, are the original person of Godhead, and an eternal form that is blissful and full of complete knowledge. You are the creator of the whole world. You are the original initiator and propounder of the systems of Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. You are the supreme Brahman, the original person of Godhead. Therefore, with all respect, offer my obeisance unto you, both of you. My dear lords, it is very difficult for the living entities to get to see you. Yet when you are merciful upon your devotees, you are very easy for them to see you. As much only out of your causeless mercy have you agreed to come here and be visible to us, who are generally influenced by the qualities of ignorance and passion. My dear Lord, we belong to the Daitya or demon category. The demons or demoniac persons, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, the Charanas, the Yakshas, the Rakshasas, the Pichachas, the ghosts and the hobgoblins by nature incapable of worshipping you or becoming your devotees. Instead of becoming your devotees, they are simply impediments in the path of devotion. But you are the Supreme Person Godhead, representing all the Vedas, and are situated in a mode of uncontaminated goodness. Your position is always transcendental. For this reason, some of us, although born of the modes of passion and ignorance, have taken shelter of your lotus feet and have become devotees. Some of us are actually pure devotees, and some of us have taken shelter of your lotus feet because we desire to gain something from devotion. By your causeless mercy only are we demons in direct contact with your personality. The contact is not possible even for the great demigods. No one knows how you hack through your yoga maya potency. Even demigods cannot calculate the expanse of the activities of your internal potency. Also, how is it possible for us to know it? I therefore place my humble prayers before you. Please be kind to me, who am fully surrendered unto you, and favor me with your causeless mercy, so that I may simply remember your lotus feet birth after birth. My only ambition is that I may live alone, just like the Paramahamsas who travel alone, here and there in great peace of mind, depending simply upon your lotus feet. I also desire that if I have to associate with anyone, I may associate only with your pure devotees and no one else, for your pure devotees are always well-wishers of all living entities. So it's very nice. We can follow in the footsteps of these great devotees of the Lord. My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Master and Director of the whole world. Please therefore engage me in your service, and let me thus become free from all material contaminations. You can purify me in that way, because if someone engages himself in the loving service of your Lordship, he is immediately freed from all kinds of regulative principles enjoined in the Vedas. The word Paramahamsa mentioned here means the supreme swan. It is said that a swan can draw milk from a mixture of milk and water. So this is a special nature of a swan. A swan is, we know swans, they're very pure, they're white, and they always in clean surroundings. They always you'll find swans not in dirty places. And the one proclivity of the swan, he says, is amazing, that it can separate milk from water. If you put milk in the water, generally the milk becomes like dissolved. But the swan has that special proclivity that can extract the milk from them. So this Paramahamsa, it's an analogy that as a sadhu, a saintly person is also like a Paramahamsa, because he can take nectar even from dirty places. Extract the nectar even from dirty places. Come to the material world, which is a contaminated place, and not get contaminated. Just like the swan. So generally the sadhus are described as Paramahamsas. They are very elevated personalities, like swan-like persons. Similarly, a person who can draw out the spiritual portion of the material world and who can live alone depending only on the Supreme Spirit, not on the material world, is called a Paramahamsa. When one achieves the Paramahamsa platform, he is no longer under the regular principles of Vedic injunctions. A Paramahamsa accepts only the association of pure devotees and rejects others who are too much materially addicted. In other words, those who are materially addicted cannot understand the value of the Paramahamsa, but those who are fortunate, who advance in spiritual sense, take shelter of the Paramahamsa and successfully complete the mission of human life. So likewise, we have the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and he's described like that. When we offer praise to Prabhupada, Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Charis Totra Sata Sri Samad, His divine grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So when we take shelter of such person, then we also comes under their protection. These are very powerful, they're not ordinary personalities, very empowered personalities that come to give their association. After Lord Krishna heard the praise of Bali Maharaj, he spoke as follows. My dear king of the demons, in the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, the Prajapati known as Marichi is telling the history of how the 6 sons of Devaki came about. The king of the demons in the millennium of Swayambhuva, the Prajapati known as Marichi, begot 6 sons, all demigods in the womb of his wife Urna. Once upon a time, Lord Brahma became captivated by the beauty of his daughter and was following her, impelled by sex desire. So such is the nature of this material world. Even great personalities can become captivated, but we should not compare them to like ordinary persons. They come to teach us lessons. And yeah, we'll see that. Yeah. So the demigods, seeing that, the 6, seeing this move by Lord Brahma, they describe this as abominable. This criticism of Brahma's action by the demigods constitute a great offense on their part. And because they committed offense, they were cursed. It's like Vaishnava Aparad. Brahma is a Vaishnava, although he seemingly may have committed some offense, but nevertheless, so the criticism of Brahma's action by the demigods constituted great offense on their part, and for this reason they were condemned to take birth as the sons of the demon Hiranyakashipu. These sons of Hiranyakashipu were thereafter put into the womb of Mother Devaki, and as soon as they took the birth, Kamsa killed them one after another. You know, in the Krishna book, this is described there, the birth of Lord Krishna. And the 6 sons, Vasudeva promised to give Kamsa. Every child born, he would present it to Kamsa. He took that vow. And Vasudeva was a man of his word, so he gave. And Kamsa, of course, he killed every one of the 6 sons. So Devaki, of course, is the mother. She's feeling this pain of losing her sons, but she wants them back. My dear king of the demons, Mother Devaki is very anxious to see the 6 dead sons again, and she is very much aggrieved on account of the early death at the hands of Kamsa. I know that all of them are living with you. I have decided to take them with me to pacify my mother, Devaki. After seeing my mother, all these 6 of these conditioned souls will be liberated, and thus in great pleasure they will be transferred to the original planet. The names of the 6 conditioned souls as follows. The 6 sons of Devaki, the names Smara, Udgita, Parishvanga, Patanga, Shudrabrit, Trini. They will be reinstated in their former positions as demigods. After this information, informing the king of the demons, Krishna stopped speaking, and Bali Maharaj understood the Lord's purpose. He duly worshipped the Lord, and thereafter Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram took away the 6 conditioned souls and returned to the city of Dwarka, where Lord Krishna presented them as little babies before his mother. Mother Devaki was overwhelmed with joy and was so ecstatic in motherly feeling that milk immediately began to flow from her breasts, and she fed the babies with great satisfaction. She took them on her lap again and again, smelling their heads and thinking, I have gotten my lost children back. For the time being, she was overpowered by the energy of Vishnu, and in great motherly affection, she enjoyed the company of her lost children. The milk from the breast of Devaki was transcendental nectar, because the same milk had been sucked by Lord Krishna. As such, the babies who sucked the breast of Devaki which had touched the body of Lord Krishna, immediately became self-realized persons. The babies therefore began to offer their obeisance unto Lord Krishna, Balaram, their father Vasudeva, and the mother Devaki. After this, they were immediately transferred to their respective heavenly planets. This is a happy ending to that. After they departed, Devaki was stunned with wonder that her dead children had come back and had again been transferred to the respective planets. She could adjust the events only by thinking that Lord Krishna can perform anything wonderful in his pastimes, because his potencies are all inconceivable. Without accepting the inconceivable, unlimited potencies of the Lord, one cannot understand that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Soul. By his unlimited potencies, he performs unlimited pastimes, and no one can describe them in full, nor can anyone know them all. Sutta Goswami, speaking Srimad Bhagavatam before the sages of Namasaranya, edited by Sanaka Rishi, gave his verdict in this connection as follows. Great sages, please understand that the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna are all eternal. They are not ordinary narrations of historical incidents. Such narrations are identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Anyone, therefore, who hears such narrations of the Lord's pastimes is immediately freed from the contamination of material existence. And those of pure devotees enjoy these narrations as nectar entering into the ears. Such narrations were spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, the exalted son of Vyasadeva. And anyone who hears them, as well as anyone who repeats them for the hearing of others, becomes Krishna conscious, and only the Krishna conscious persons are eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. This is the fruit, the Shruti Phalam of that. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purpose of the 85th chapter of Krishna, spiritual instructions for Vasudeva, and the return of the 6 dead sons of Devaki by Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Krishna book ki jai. Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any comments or questions, I don't know how much time we have. Is it time? Rasraj? Nothing. The Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
His Grace Jaisacinandana Prabhu ki